Hey, what's going on there, guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT. So we have a small update going on in Gran Turismo Sport. So let's just gonna go and take a good look what we have here. So we have 3 cars has now added into the game. So we have the Aston Martin DBR9 GT1 2010 was also seen in the GT World Tour in Sydney. Fiat 500 1.2 SB Lounge SS 2008 is now joining in, but this is definitely might be a best compact car by having a returning from Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6. And the latest, this is going to have the Nissan 180SX Type X 1996 is going to have a fully premiumized detail car will be giving in for the first time. Now let's go over to the Aston Martin brand to get the DBR9 GT1 2010 is now welcome as a Group 3 racing category. It is debuted in 2005 and racing actively in an international sports car racing until the end of GT1 category in 2001. It is based on the Aston Martin DB9 Road car. It retains the chassis, engine block, and cylinder heads of the road car's V12 engine. But very good lobby chosen to have a Gulf racing team on it, but this is definitely might be having some few fictional decals will be seen like the original. And the car number was actually putting on with a 007 instead of a 009. Now this only have one colors to be available to buy, but good thing that this is definitely a best ways to be customized in the library editor, but this race car is brilliant to be driven for best ways to compete. Now let's just gonna go over to accept this to buy it, and this is the best vehicle that every Aston Martin fans who really wants to try it out. But it was a very good racing category to be joining in for a GT1 race car. Next on one of the 3 new cars is the Fiat 500 1.2 8B Lounge SS 2008. So this will be having a second generation model was actually appear in Gran Turismo 5. So it was definitely based from the first generation after a 50-year hiatus. So this will be given the best modern look style of the interior. Can't say it was very amazing. So this will be given a low performance to have a max power of 65 horsepower. So this will be given a nice compact car to be marked as an N100 category. So this only have 3 colors are available. So this will be having a Bossa Nova white, Paso Doble red, and the mod blue. So this will be giving a best ways to be available whenever you like to pick. So this will might have the ways to go on the Paso Doble red. So this will be given a good price amount for only 23,300 credits. So I'm about to go for it. But this is a fine, nice, modern compact car was definitely driven for a new style. Now last but not least, folks, I hope Nissan is about to have one of the most iconic JDM sports car is about to bringing in was the 180SX Type X 1996 with a fully premiumized sports car. So this is a very good category to be an N200 along with the Nissan Silvia. It was a very good price range to be on 30,000 credits. Now this is going to be a very good retrospective look on the interior view, but this is a very good CNR eyes for a debut. So this is definitely a very good sports car for every Nissan fans would really like to try it out. There's only have 5 colors to be available by the usual by selected pick. So there's only have white, spark silver metallic, super black, midnight purple, and super red. Now I had to go with the white color, so this is definitely might be a good selected pick. So I'm about to go and buy it right now, but this is a very good way to see how JDM sports car lovers who really wants to try it out. This is going to be a best ways to see how it turns out very perfectly. Starting out for the custom race with using the Aston Martin DBR9 GT1, we'll be taking the first attempt. We'll be taking on with some Group 3 race cars. Now, just going to have to get set up to have the number of laps we'll be going in by 6. So it looks like I'm about to be racing at Brands Hatch Grand Prix, folks. But this is going to be the best time to be a first attempt. We'll go professional for having a new Group 3 race car to be ready to go. Now, this is a very good ways to see how fast can the DBR9 can go to take on with the BMW M6 GT3s, Nissan GTRs, and several other Group 3 cars are definitely might be a very good ways to have the DBR9 will be joining in session for having a good race. Whenever if I can see a B12 Vantage, that's going to be a very good opportunity for having two Aston Martins will be taking the best ways in the same category. Just going to have to keep checking for the starting grid, so it looks like this is going to be a quite perfect check. So there it is, folks, starting in 15th place, but now I'm in last place. That's going to be a very good idea that this will be given the best ways to see how two Aston Martins will be racing out in a different race car. Just going to need to take the driving options, we'll be setting up to 0. Just going to need that traction control to be given ways to see how fast can it go. So here we go, folks. This is going to be the first attempt run for the DBR9 GT1. We'll be going faster to race up with some several Group 3 cars. Now let's begin. By taking its first try by having a warm-up, so here we go, folks. This is going to have a first ever segment that this will be taking on with some several Group 3 race car. Rolling start has already begun right now, but this is a very good, incredible speed out there, folks. Good thing that this will be taking some few warm-ups, that this will be need to do a lot of overtakes. We'll be taking on with some various Group 3 race cars that this will might give a main ways to see how it goes. It was a racing opportunity. We'll be given the original GTLM race car. We'll be taking on for a new ways of a challenge. But this is definitely might be, turns out it goes. Now, this will be a very good view of the interior style, but this is a racing version for the DBR9, was definitely might be based from the road car version of the DB9. Whenever you see on the left that there was an Aston Martin logo over there, but I had to make a good focus to keep it up to reach the DBR9 GT1 to be in first place. This is going to be a first ever tryout that this will be taking a lot of view distance. It's going to be good to see how it goes. But pretty competitive to see every race can probably give the newcomers will be given the ways to join in. Now let's just going to have to take one good turn to step right in. Taking inside turns will be giving the best racing opportunity that this wheel might be giving its main focus. Now, I hope you guys have really think that this is going to be a modest update, but I guess that this is definitely might be understandable. Well, good thing that Polypody Digital is setting up for a number of cars that's definitely reached up to a 500. It's definitely like Gran Turismo 2, but very different at least. Now, this is going to be a very good way to see how this race will might be giveaways to have any Group 3 cars that this will be joining in. Speaking of which, probably Mazda RX Vision is definitely might be coming in anytime soon. But good thing that the DBR9 GT1 is welcome aboard to have a Group 3 category to be given a ways to have a new start. Just gonna have to take a good precision step that this wheel might be drive faster whenever it has to deal with some several opponents. Always having a good practice by having a new car, we'll be doing a lot of good training that this will be needed as well. Just gonna have to take that inside turn. The GT5 Citroen Group 3 and Renault Sport RS01 GT3 is definitely might be forming a blocking formation. Just gonna need to try to maintain the pace whenever I'm about to going in onto the window overtake. Just keep it going. I know this is definitely pretty tough. That should do it. Almost there. Entering the third lap. Looks like I'm getting closer in onto 7th place, folks. Getting a little bit tightened up on 8th place. Just gonna need to step it up. It was a pretty fast GT1 race car. I can't say it. Everybody really likes it, but it was a very good car that this was definitely seen in the GT World Tour in Sydney. Probably this year was definitely might be brilliant for having a one-make race in the Nations Cup. But good thing that we just barely saw it. but I kind of say that this is definitely a very good, impressive challenge for having several DBR9s in the Nations Cup livery variants. Very competitive, and given the best racing opportunity that this is definitely might be, turns out that it was extraordinary that this will be having the best ways for having the DBR9 GT1 will be given the best suitable choice to be part of the Nations Cup. Kind of say that this is definitely might be very brand new, but I hope this wheel might be moving onto the 2020 series after the preseason ends. But this is definitely might be a very good choice to all Aston Martin fans out there if you really want to use the DBR9 as a competitive car. So this will be given the best suitable choice that this will might take part of the manufactured series. But you can choose the B12 Vantage if you want. I kind of say that two Aston Martin Group 3 race car is definitely a best suitable choice that this will might give it well chosen. Going in to overtake the Audi R8. Now, looks like I'm about to go right in onto the BMW M6 GT3 race car. This is going to be a most impressive run whenever it takes to go in. So let's do it. There's the Walking Horse Motorsports taking on in second place. I guess this was going to have the M-Power livery was taking the lead. Just going to need to step it up on it. Pretty fast it goes, but this wheel might take some few racing upper hands that this wheel might go on the inside of the apex. Going right in. Have that last turn to make it one full stretch. Flip lap is getting near for only one more to go. Perfect fine turn. Just try to keep it steady. Now this is definitely a best ways to have myself for doing a practice for a Group 3 challenge. Given the new car is definitely given the best ways to make its own fastest lap. But I hope you guys really want to do the time trial. This is definitely might be a practically good run. Gonna step it in, landing onto the apex. Just gonna need to get close. Alright, getting near. Okay, that was pretty close. There you go, folks. Looks like this is going to be taking some view gap distance to get a little bit near. The DBR9 GT1 is taking the lead. After taking 5 laps, we'll be doing the ongoing struggle by the rush. And the final lap is about to begin to have its arrival. Looks like the M6 M-Power livery was taking a lot of efforts to going in. Just gonna get ready to take a good defense to be step it up. That should do it. This is gonna be a very good run to take a good gap distance. Just gonna have to keep using up by having a racing hard compound tires. We'll be given the best recommendable tires by default. We're almost there, folks. The Group 3 race is about to be over soon, and I hope the DBR9 is about to take its first win by having a good training workout by having a gold medal. taking the last turn and going in to take the final stretch. This is going to be a very good run out there, folks. There you go. The DBR9 GT1 is taking the checkered flag on the podium. Now, this is the very first ever run to see a GT1 race car can probably take on with some several Group 3 race car by any other different car brands. But it was a pretty good first try out there, folks. Well, luckily, just gonna need to take a good warm-up before having a segment will begin. But this one might have a good regular earnings that this will might give a good will to achieve. So, this will might have a daily workout to be a check mark complete. Now, this is a very good way to see how fast can the DBR9 can go. Taking on with some several Group 3 race cars whenever they have to choose which opponents is going to have to take in any other car brand in a same category. Now, this is a very good way to see how the race will be given the newcomers will be giving in to take a good ways to see how the challenges will be having a best Group 3 race. Especially the DBR9 GT1 was practically very brilliant to see how it goes. As for the next race for trying out one of the 3 cars, the Fiat 500 1.2 AP Lounge SS is going on to take a full 1-week race. Now, it's going to be a very good time to have a best full course to be on Autodrome Lago Maggiore Grand Prix, but this is going to have to take a good slow opportunity that this will have to drive faster for only a less horsepower that this will might take on with some several turns. This race will be given an easy start, but this will might have to take an applying overtake will get started. By having the difference between the Abarth 500 and the Fiat 500, so 2 cars in the same model as the second generation model in a different brand. So this will be taking the lower horsepower that this will might have to drive smoothly that compares to the first generation Fiat 500. So let's go for the applying overtake and let's see how the safeties first will be getting started out. Taking the first turn to go right in. Now for the interior style that it was definitely might be given a more modern style that was definitely might turns out to be realistic. That compares to the first generation model 50 years ago, because this is definitely might be a very good for the 2008 model that was actually appeared since Gran Turismo 5. But it drives smoothly, but it takes plenty good horsepower that this will might give a regular handling skill that this will might take a good opportunity by the start. So good thing that this will be having a nice compact car will be given a warm welcome to be in GT Sport. Taking a good 1-week race will be given the best practice for having a sport mode whenever it's going to be taking the chance. Just going to have to take that next turn to go right in. It drives normally to be on certain city areas, but this is definitely might be given a good test run to be on the circuit track. Taking a lot of few terrains will be going in for taking a little hill climb. Drives perfectly to be on the inside. Just gonna have to take plenty good massive overtakes that this one might need to maintain the pace. Okay, almost there. Just gonna need to take a little bit more patient time. Just gonna need to step it up. Second sector is clear, so now moving on to the third sector. Just gonna need to take a good slipstream to be taking the downhill. There you go. Here comes the hillside right turn. Just gonna have to pull the brakes. A fine, incredible understeer for a slower car that this will might drive perfectly. This will might have the best ways to be in first place. Taking the good practice will be having a first lap that this will might give a good practice. Now, this is definitely a very good ways to see how the Fiat 500 has definitely might be given a well waiting time for having 50 years before making a second generation model. But it was definitely might be a very good base inspiration from the original as a classic car. Can I say that this is definitely a very good motoristic compact car that this wheel might driven in. Just gonna need to go right in and take the final turn. We'll go to the final stretch. Taking a little downhill, just gonna have to be ready. Now reaching up onto the top speed to be getting closer to 85 miles per hour. Oh, this is definitely might be getting close. That should do it. This wheel might be giving a good peak to be on 86 miles. So first run for having a one-make race will be taking the good practice by the warm-up. But looks like everybody did a pretty great job out there. What a good amazing race. But it was a pretty good basic workout for having a nice slower compact car. We'll be taking a good understeer. Just gonna need to take a first place earnings, and this will might have some more distance. Pretty good for having some few gap distance to be shown on any other opponents. It was pretty well organized that this wheel might be taking the best ways to see how several GT players would be really excited to be part of the one-make challenge. Now onward for the next and last. This is going to be a most impressive JDM race. We'll be going in for having an N200 race. Now it's time to get ready to bring out the Nissan 180SX. Type X is about to go in. But this will be having a 3-lap race on Tokyo Expressway Central Outer Loop for having a nighttime race. Take a good look at this nice engine sound, and it's all wrapped up and ready to roll. Here we go, folks. This is going to be the last car to try out, but this will be taking the best time to be on the city track for having a good clean race. By taking the starting grid for the 180SX to be in last place. So here we go. This race is about to begin, and this will be having a nice clean race for the moment. By the good look of the interior view style, so this is definitely a nice premium sports car for giving a good treatment for this update. For example, the Toyota Supra RZ is the first iconic JDM sports car that this will give a nice super premium car treatment since the January 2018 update on GT Sports. Now let's just gonna go in and take some few overtakes we'll get passed through. Just gonna have to take a good regular earnings that this wheel might need to take a good chance. Now it looks like several European cars are definitely joining in for having a nice time. This will be given the best runs that this will take a good challenge. Just gonna need to drive faster, so this wheel might need to keep up the pace. Looks like several 4 cars are definitely might be given the best distance on the run. Just gonna need to go closer to make a good overtake on the Toyota 86 GT. Coming past through onto the second tunnel. Just gonna have to take a good inside turn to go in. Pretty good handling and a pretty good speed to see how the 180SX could be taking the good challenge to race for the Nissan Silvia S13. So this is a very good car to be customized in the library editor to make some good variants, including some racing modifications from GT1 and GT2. And even the Akina Speedstars was actually to be putting in on the sides driven by Kenji from Initial D. I kind of say that the racing anime is pretty good to be watching the best parts to see how other cars can drift it to be on the downhill and the uphill. Just gonna have to go in and take the second lap. Just gonna need to take that first turn to go on the overtake on the Monster Roadster touring car. And there's the Honda S2000 is about to go passing in onto the Ferrari Dino. Can I say that this car is very good to be used for drifting. It's definitely like having a best time to do for a little CA attack from Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift. But it drives fast, but it will be taking some fine handling skills that this will be taking some good tricks to be performed. Looks like the Lancia Stratos is about to be catching up onto the Toyota MR2 GTS, so this will be giving the best runs to pass 3 of them at the same time. So this will be giving the best distance to be catching up onto the Alfa Romeo 4C in first place. Save the best time before the final lap is about to begin. Only 4.4 seconds up ahead left to go. This will be taking some good horsepower, will push it to the limit. Just gonna have to hold that turn and proceed to the final turn to make its way to have the final lap. Here we go, folks. Third and final lap is about to begin, and looks like the 180SX is about to take on the Alfa Romeo 4C. We'll be taking a good battle. We'll be taking the best ways to get started. Just gonna have to take a good speed that this will might have some few turns. We'll be going on the inside. Just gonna have to take a good slipstream. We'll be going on to the first tunnel. Just gonna need to take a good open space to be on this lane. Here comes the next turn. Just gonna have to be prepared. Looks like the 4C is never giving up, but I hope the 180SX could. This will be taking the next turn. We'll be going in by the second tunnel. So close. Just gonna need to take a little patient time. Just gonna need that slipstream. We'll be giving some spare time. Looks like going in, we're having a little increase of the gap distance. Gonna have to make my last chance. Almost there. Okay, looks like this is definitely a very good start to see how an iconic JDM Sport car could probably take on for the most toughest opponents. I can't say that was a very good race. Barely almost had for the moment, for the 180SX will be taking the best ways to see how a strong end-to-end car will be taking the best ways to take a good challenging battles to be on for the central outer loop. So this makes sense, but this update is going to be modest in frequency, and volume of content updates will be leaning out a little, which leads some rumors of a possible appearance for Polypody Digital will be making its next step for the Gran Turismo franchise. It's going to be Gran Turismo 7 on the PS5 platform by the end of the year. But it is great, but the Aston Martin DBR9 GT1 is new to the Gran Turismo series, along with the Fiat 500, joined its A-part-turned sibling in the game, and the Nissan 180SX Type X gets an upgrade from its standard car status. Alright folks, I hope you really enjoyed trying out 3 new cars. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, bell for notification uploads, and the links on the description down below if you want to see more. Library blog videos are available to watch anytime you want. This will be the entertainment showcase about different cars with libraries I have been made. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time on Gran Turismo Sport, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on racing, stay clean.